I'm Rob Hall from Ashtons Franchise Consulting. With me today is James Wilson from Soccer Shooters. Hi, James. It's good to have you here.
Yeah, good morning, Rob. Thanks for inviting me along.
Not at all. So, hey, look, let's start by talking a little bit about Soccer Shooters. So, why don't you tell us about, what you do and why you do what you do, most importantly?
Yeah, sure. So, Soccer Shooters is a fun, inclusive football coaching company that basically engages children in physical activity. We use football as a tool, but ultimately just want to get kids active, having fun, and all the benefits physically, mentally, and socially that brings. So, we call it kind of our strap line is using football as a tool to enhance a child's life and kind
Yeah,
of growing up through football. So, however that looks. And sometimes, we're not looking for professional footballers. That's not our goal, but obviously we want to help every child be the best they can be and make sure we signpost people to the place that's going to help them develop. So
yeah,
that's who we
brilliant.
are, what we do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fantastic. And so, where do you operate now? Around the Bristol area, generally, isn't it? I think. And
Yeah, so our core office is in Bristol, kind of in the southwest of England, and
yeah.
obviously we'll come to it later, but we've opened up a franchise further afield as well. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, well, look, franchising is what we're talking about today. So, as you said, I know you're just launching the Soccer Shooters franchise, first franchisee on board, which is great. We'll talk about that in a second. But um, just tell us a little bit initially about why franchising, really. Why, what took you down that route?
Yeah, interesting. So um, always at the back of my mind, but I caveat that actually when I first started coaching football, I just did it for fun. I
Yeah,
just always felt like it was something I wanted to do, and then actually I found out that I was quite good at it and actually really enjoyed it, but also felt like it was something that I could potentially work in. So I set up a football coaching company based on a model that I'd seen a friend run in the United States, which was kind of a unique way in which we support the community and grassroots football clubs through our coaching provision.
yeah,
Uh, and our mission is to enhance kids' lives, as I said before, and we want to do that to as many people as possible, and we want to give other coaches an opportunity to make a career from coaching. So, um, the real catalyst came is back in lockdown. I moved out of the city into the countryside, and I tried to then set up some coaching where I was. But I
yeah,
soon realised that wasn't really the value I could add. I didn't feel like, yes, I could go and set it all up again, but actually the expertise I could give will be coming from helping other people set those up. So I kind of scrapped that very quickly and thought, right,
right.
franchise is definitely the route because that's going to allow me to really add some value to other people, to obviously add value to lots of kids, really. So that's the route we decided to go down. Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah, okay. And obviously, you and I have worked together now for, well, it's over a year, isn't it? So, why Ashton's franchising? How did you find us, and why did you decide to use Ashton's to help you?
Yeah, well, I guess it's one of those sort of serendipity moments. So I literally was listening to the radio and I heard an advert for the franchise exhibition show. So I went along to is it Olympia. Is that the one in
Yeah,
London?
yeah,
Yeah. So I
brilliant.
went along to Olympia and kind of pretty new to it, very green, to be honest. Didn't really know much about what franchising was. Lots of
Yeah,
interesting speakers. So I would recommend people just go along, even if you're not thinking of franchising, pop along to an exhibition and go and hear what other people are doing.
yeah,
Uh, I heard Phil was there. So Phil Mowat did a little kind of presentation.
yeah,
Just anyone was welcome to come along and yeah, very really interesting what he had to say. Really like the cut of his tube. Felt like the company connected with kind of the thing we were doing. And then as I walked past your stall, I bumped into Phil and then we had a really good chat. And I just thought, let's take this conversation further. I really liked, I really felt like we got on. I really felt like you weren't just a company that were just trying to tick boxes and make money. You felt like a company that, was going to add value to people like me, really.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Well, I suppose that was my next question, really. What do you like about working with Ashton's? How has it sort of panned out over the good few months now that we've been working together?
No, I really, really enjoyed working with Ashtons and particularly obviously you, Rob. I mean, um, yeah, so I met Phil. Phil was my contact initially,
Yeah,
and we had a good little chat before. He gave me a rundown of kind of what the journey could be, introduced me to you, and
yeah,
I think what I've learned about franchising is it's not a complicated process, but there's a lot of detail, as in all life. The devil is in the detail, isn't it? And you
Yeah.
guys have just been so patient with me. You've given me that kind of plan that it would have taken me years, and I probably wouldn't have had the confidence. And you give me the connections, and you've been there, and you've gone above and beyond what that contract was that we initially signed. You've gone way beyond what that was, and yeah, and you continue to support me now, which I much appreciate. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's good to hear. Thanks, James. That's great. Sounds great. So and obviously, it's led now to, you've launched, the franchise model is up and running, first franchisees trained and on board. So tell us a bit about, franchisee number one. How's he getting on?
Yeah, interestingly, so I met. He heard about our mission and our vision. We had a little catch up and came along to what was a discovery day in Bristol to see how it worked. And I think he was really impressed with kind of our unique kind of approach to coaching and the unique way in which we work with communities. And yeah, from that day onwards, it was more a question of getting to know each other, because it is a partnership. So I've learned that from the start. It's not, I'm helping them set up their business, but it is their business under guidance and obviously framework of what we say. So that was the first thing. Meeting someone and getting to the point where, other leads coming through, but this guy is actually someone who we can really work with. So that's the first. My first learning is actually you've got to get on really well. So we've got on really well. He's being really open to our approach and our methodology. Yeah, so it's been great. And having our first training week, and I guess sometimes when you run your own business and you've done it for so long, you forget how much you've learned. So I think
How
he
much
was like, wow, you guys have there's so much to take in, that he felt like he couldn't have learned it without support from us.
That's great. And we've just gone through half term this week. We're at the end of half term week as we speak, aren't we? And I think so you've obviously had a busy half term week with your own business in Bristol, but I think the franchisee's had a good week as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, the beauty of working in a football coaching environment is it's non-stop, 52 weeks of the year. You go from term time to holiday club. So and it's great. You kind of go through this kind of different product and different kind of service. So that's really fun. So so the really exciting thing is our first franchisee launched a holiday club. And to be honest, got to be honest, they only really kind of came on board a couple of weeks ago. So they've come from a pretty running start, but they've had really good numbers on their first day, on the first couple of days of running this camp. And they've been absolutely loving it. And the feedback we've already got online and direct from them is great. So definitely enthused, and it's been a really positive start.
Yeah, good. Okay, well, it's good, positive, isn't it? As you say, good start. So what does the future look like then, James? What's next? What's going to happen the rest of this year? Do you think? What's the plan?
Well, like I say, we're focused on trying to kind of enhance as many children as we can through the game of football. So we're really keen to fulfill our mission through more franchises. So we're looking all over the country for new franchisees at the moment to have those conversations. Just initial conversations to get to know each other. But yeah, we just want to continue to grow, and we have long-term goals to be obviously one of the top franchisees in the country, and probably the number one in terms of supporting grassroots clubs directly. And also we have international ambitions as well going forward. Yeah,
fantastic. Okay, brilliant. Well, wish you all the very best for that, James, and I look forward to working with you on that journey as it unfolds. So it's fantastic. So hey, look, James, thanks for your time. Great to hear about Soccer Shooters. Great to hear it's going from strength to strength. And as I say, good luck with everything for the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time.
No problem. Cheers.